Hi everyone! I am Mezzo Justice and a co-founder of Lore Biters with... This is Fuka and she's the other co-founder.
Oh, hi! Oh my god, why do I look so confused? Hi everyone, my name is Fuka Hirimizumi. I am a shark VTuber. It's nice to meet all of you. I'm so excited. We started a book club because Mezzy was like, let's read together, bish. And I was like, yeah, let's read together.
Honestly, we really wanted to start this last year, but timing, life, shit happens. But we did it! We got there! We finished the first book together!
Yay! Oh my god, that was such an achievement. Finishing the book, that's huge. That's so huge.
The name of our podcast is Lore Biters. This is the first episode. We did Lore Biters because we really want to bite into the lore, and since I'm a dragon and she's a shark, it's very name appropriate.
Yeah.
So the first book we're doing is actually called Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. Yeah.
The back reads, an exiled princess teams up with the last man she thought she could trust in the start of a dazzling, unforgettable, epic fantasy romance series. So that's like the little back quote. And there's gonna be 4 books, right? I read somewhere online there's gonna be 4 books.
The screenshot I sent Fuka yesterday said the author has officially announced that she has sold the publication rights of the last 2 books to a publication company. So they will all be published. And this is important to note because I did do a tad bit of research. I'm not going to say like I did a God's work of research, and I found the book was originally published through Amazon as an indie book. And that's going to be important for a later conversation that we will mention. But so this book originally was indie, then it got picked up by another publishing company. So it got published twice. But it's not like Fourth Wing, where Fourth Wing keeps getting published because they have different covers. There was actually different content. So the first thing I think we should tell you about this book is it was highly publicized, pushed on booktok, okay? Not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, even my friend, she told me about it. She's like, oh, did you buy the booktok book? Okay, continue, sorry, not to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I'm glad you can verify that. So booktok has a habit of pushing books. Now, do I regret buying it? It was an experience. It was definitely not the way they advertised the book. The book was advertised to be something, and I felt like I read something else, to be honest. Like, it was...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Okay, this is what it says on the back, right? It says, like, booktok sensation is highly recommended for romantic lovers, especially fans of Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros. Can we talk about spoilers? Like,
I mean, consider this as a book review / podcast. I don't see why we can't.
Okay.
It's not like we told the audience, hey, we're reading the chapters with you. We've already read it. This is the review. So why not?
Yeah, I don't know where to start. Like, honestly, do you want to start with the good, the bad, or do we just like go through the whole book?
So I'm gonna start first with the theme. There's a theme that this book is being announced as enemies to lovers. And as far as the book stands right now, there is no enemy to lovers. It may happen in a later book.
Oh my god, girl, I agree. I was like, where? Okay, so it was advertised as like banter and like, oh yeah, like enemies to lovers. They're supposed to hate each other. But homeboy Caden, his dick is already hard for her. Like, moment he meets her, right? Like, it's crazy. And I thought I had to gaslight myself. I was like, does Caden really hate her? Because, like, I don't know, he's always, like, pulling up boners for her every time I read the story, right? So it's not enemies to lovers. It's more, like, in her head.
Well, it makes it worse because he admits that even as a child, he was looking for her to join her.
You know, that chapter was what I needed, you know, like, so throughout the story, right, he's popping boners for her, like, randomly, and I was like, I don't understand why he loves Elowen. Elowen's the main character,
Yeah.
Right? He's like so in love with her. Like he's like, I will kill anyone for you. I will die for you, right? Like
Yeah.
all of that. And then I was like, I don't understand. Like why? And then he pulls up with like, I've been in love with you since I've seen you when you were a child. And I was like, sir, what the fuck? So yeah, like it's not true enemies to lovers. It's more
No.
like childhood lovers or childhood friends.
Okay, and I will give her this benefit of the doubt, okay? Because Fourth Wing does it too. It may not be enemy to lovers yet, where they become enemies at a certain point and get back to lovers.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was reading Fourth Wing, it really did felt like more of enemies to lovers because Violet has like a legit reason to hate. What was his name? Zayden with the X,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
She has a legit reason to hate him, and then he has a legit reason to hate her or her family. So, like, I think in that sense
Mhm.
they're enemies to lovers because, like, or they're
Mhm.
star-crossed lovers because their families hate each other. But there's no reason why Elowen and Caden hate each other in this book. Like,
no. So, okay, and to make it worse, okay, I don't know if you noticed this because I did listen to the audiobook. There was a point where Caden, which is the main character's name, can use magic, is shadow magic, and also his name is very close to Zayden, and my whole mind was just going, are you sure this isn't a fanfic? And I checked, and I think Fourth Wing was published first, even compared to her original novel.
That's how I kind of like read the book. Honestly, I was like, you know, this is probably a fan fiction of Fourth Wing, but you know that's super valid because
I mean, yeah.
there's another book called like Love Hypothesis, which started out as Raylo fanfic. So
Yeah.
I'm not hating
hey, look,
it.
no hate, because guess what? 50 Shades of Grey, one of the biggest books, was a fanfic of Twilight. So guess what?
Yeah,
It can work. It can work.
yeah.
I don't know. There was a lot of things wrong with it, and I felt like a lot of the plot was rushed. Like, it doesn't. The book didn't make much sense, and I'm saying that as someone. Yes, I know I did the audiobook. You're like, well, what if you miss some spots? There were some points to where in this book, for instance, he took off his shirt so she could bandage him after he got into a fight. Right? The chapter ended right there. Suddenly, they're in a whole nother ass town at the start of the next chapter. I'm like, where the fuck did you go?
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. So I wrote here issues that I had is pacing. I think the pacing was a little off, but I feel like if you read it as like fanfic, right? Some sort of fanfic or Wattpad, I think it's okay because it reads as like little stories. It's as if she wrote little stories that she wanted to put in the book and then she like wove them together, you know? Like every little chapter was like a different event, and I was like, I don't understand how this, you know, ties back together to the past. So like the buildup is like, I would say the buildup needs a little more meat to it because it felt very lacking.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like bad book. It just like
You could tell she's a new and inexperienced author. I will say it that way.
Yeah, so she like expects people to assume like based off of her writing. Like for example, I think I wrote something about like I still didn't understand. I did not like Elowen. I'll be honest, I did not like her as a character because I didn't understand her biggest gripe with like her uncle for a while because she's like, he abandoned me, right? I was abused and stuff, and I didn't understand the abuse, and I didn't understand like the bond that she had with her dragons. Like what was so important about it? You know, like did you get anything from like audiobooking, like why she was so salty about being trapped? You know, I get it, but like also why is she so vengeful and hateful due to that experience?
Because I think the thing is, okay, and this could be me reaching or looking into it more than I should, because the author kind of didn't leave much to on the paper. It was more to the imagination. And the author could just be shy about writing those things, because to be honest, even the sex scene that they hyped up was not detailed. So I think they're shy about writing certain things. Okay, so it was mentioned that her father basically tortures her in every way possible that did not include losing limbs or of a unchildlike nature. So basically, she still had her card after everything happened. So her virginity was still intact, but she was tortured mercilessly by her father.
So another thing I don't understand is like, if she was tortured so much, right? Like, why didn't she have any scars, right? Like, there's no way, in my opinion, you can torture someone to the point where they feel like, okay, so there's a specific chapter I'm referring to, chapter I think like 33, where she like kills her abuser in like a really gruesome way. Like, she literally had all of her limbs, no scratches, like literally no scratches or scars, right? And she kept emphasizing like, oh, just because I don't have any scars doesn't mean I don't have invisible scars, which I get, right? But I still don't understand what type of abuse would have to happen for her to be that vengeful. So I wish they went more into it so I could have more empathy for this character, because I'm sure that she's been through it. Like, girl's been through it, but like, I don't understand what happened. So I'm like, I have this disconnect. Like, what, girl?
I feel like a lot of it was like waterboarding and stuff, because she does make a point to say, my father wanted me alive in case he needed to sell me off, like for a marriage. And no king or prince is going to want a princess that has scars or has been taken by another. So that's playing on that idea, but she really should have went more into detail. I do agree on that. I'm assuming things like waterboarding, not letting her sleep, holding back food, things that wouldn't leave a physical mark.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense, right? That's so sad. I feel so bad that happened to her.
But here's the thing, I can also understand from all this why she hates her uncle. Because he knew this was happening. It's not like it was a secret to him. And he only acted once his sister died. So it just shows this was never about Elwyn, which, you know, that's how the book ended. Showing that it was always about the sister.
Yeah, it was always about the sister.
Yeah.
Which I get. Like, towards the end, I understood the hatred. But at the beginning, I was like, I don't understand, like, why. Like, she's like, he's my biggest op. He's my biggest op. I don't like him.
Because
so, yeah.
He hates the dragons because they killed his sister. And so he was really pushing for her not to communicate, not to talk to them, not to try to figure out how to make the bond work. So,
yeah.
And that's why she saw him as an obstacle. He wouldn't let her be who she was. And as the Dragon Queen. Which, by the way, again, you could tell this is, if it's not a fan fiction, it was heavily inspired by books they have read. Because, let me go to where it says this. Bow before your queen or burn and bleed. That sounds very much like the Targaryen Fire and Blood slogan.
Yeah.
So, again, this is it does require you to have read other books or at least have some knowledge of how these things work from other books, because otherwise you will go into this fucking lost. And I think that's the only reason why I got as far as I did.
Another thing about like BookTok is what I've realized is a lot of readers aren't like, they're not looking for something hard to read, I guess, or difficult to read. They just want to be able to get through the book to get the story.
Yes.
So I think this, in that sense, like this, very wet patty, very, you can get through it. And I don't know, I did like the scenes where they talked about like life, like when she's eating bread or something, or a pastry. I really enjoyed those scenes. I'm like, oh, I like seeing her comfortable and happy. I like how she writes happy scenes.
I think, again, as Fuka said, the pacing is the biggest problem, but also how she handles climaxes and getting to the climaxes. Because there were multiple climaxes in this book, but there was no true build-up. It's just suddenly you're doing the climax.
Yeah.
So, and that's very much, to me, a new person writing issue, because there should have been a build-up, the climax, you kind of plateau for a bit, and then you drop down to comfort zone for a bit before the next climax. And that can be seen in this book because she keeps breaking up, as in what? Part 1, part 2, part 3. How many different parts were there? Will it say in my table?
3 parts. There's 3 parts.
But yeah, so it's the deal, the alliance, and the heist. And as soon as you get to one of those parts, everything you're reading, it feels like you're reading a different book.
Yeah, the feel is different. I agree.
And personally, think the prologue could have been better.
I kind of zoned out at the prologue. Is this her like talking about? Wait, let me see. Go back to the prologue.
Okay, so hear me out. Most books don't start in the middle of the action, which is what this book did, which is like a big taboo because you don't give time for world building or anything. And that's also what loses a lot of the readers. Now again, we are talking about the publication version.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the prologue would have been better, or at least chapter 1, to show her escaping the castle. It's more action-packed, it would grab the reader's attention, and you would get to know who her uncle is.
Yeah, and that would add more to, like, the drama, I guess, because you have an idea of, like, who the uncle is, what did he do for her, and I think it would add more emotional impact towards the end.
Yeah.
I agree. Because it does just cut to her, like, everyday life. Like, I don't even know how old she is, like 17, 18. I'm this age at this random town now. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess this didn't happen. The prologue. I forgot there was a prologue explaining about the dragon.
Honestly, I feel you. With her age, I've kind of been not sure what her age is. I know Kaden is 26.
I don't know how old she is.
I want to say...
She seems young, though. Honestly, like, she reads as young. She does not read as, like, an old hag. She reads quite young, but that might be just my opinion.
To be fair, though, a lot of the cast read young, and they shouldn't. Like, same with Ryder and Sakia. They both read really young, but they're in their 20s.
You're right, yeah.
Let me see if I can spell her name right.
Saskia or
No.
Elowen?
Elowen. She's 25, supposedly.
She does not read as a 25-year-old.
No. But no, she really doesn't. She reads like you said, like she's a young child. And I think if I can pull up the document that I sent you, because my brain went burr.
Oh, you know, I stopped at the first page. Okay, wait, you have legit, like, actual screenshots. Okay.
Yeah, I tried to be nice to help us with the podcast because it was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like this review by Heather X on Goodreads, which says she is a millennial Z protag. Like, she reads like a new generation. And that might be why we didn't vibe with her as much.
Yeah. Maybe. No, but we're millennials. Wait, we're fucking millennials.
But we're not... I don't know if they mean the same generation we are or the one after us.
80% of the book on the lookout went, yeah. We don't even get to see the dragons until, like, the last 5 chapters. And I was like, wait, I literally bought this book because I thought there was gonna be dragons.
That's why I bought it, because it literally is called Fear the Flames with dragons on the front cover.
I know, yeah.
Okay, I have this in my notes. Chapter 17, the first description and names we get of the dragons. Chapter 17.
Yeah, that's a really long time. I literally thought this was gonna be like a slice of life novel because it starts off as like, oh, I'm gonna go with this guy, Kaden, to this. Did she go to Vivereth? Whatever. Vivereth.
Yeah.
She goes there and she's like meeting the king. I was like, oh, is she gonna turn into a princess? Is this like a Cinderella story? But no, I forgot she was like on her journey to...
Okay. And I will say, another thing someone has pointed out in the Goodreads reviews is that how the fuck is she a queen of a kingdom and her dad doesn't know she's alive?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he like knew. Because okay, for some reason I get the feeling that like the uncle. I don't know. I feel like the uncle, like, betrayed her, like, long ago. So he had to have known something, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too
I
deep
agree
into
with you.
it.
I think the uncle has been betraying her for a lot longer than she knows. But
Yeah.
again, because this is first person, so we only know what the protag knows.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not omniscient, even though she seems to think she is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another reason why we hate her. She's such a, like, I'm perfect type.
I don't mind Mary Sue's in some contexts, right? Because she's like, she reads as Mary Sue. You know, like the archetype where she's very perfect and nothing affects her. Like every situation she gets herself into, she figures it out. And I'm like, wait, I want you to lose sometimes.
That's my issue with her. Like, I wouldn't mind it if we had seen her grow into that, but there's been no development. It's literally been like a blank page. Here, this is her, and then there's no development for her. Like, the characters are, in my opinion, are very bland. They have not grown in the novel. They have not changed. And again, I've heard the second book is better, but in this book, nothing has changed. Which is really hard.
You know what's funny though, right? Throughout that series, throughout the novel, she keeps saying that she's changed. She keeps saying she's changed in the novels. I remember reading this, like, I think it's like, I didn't mark it, but throughout the series, right, she, like, lowers her guard down with Kaden, and she's like, oh, I've changed. I'm no longer the same naive girl, right? So I feel like in the protagonist's eyes, in Elowen's eyes, she's changed, but us, we're like, no, you haven't changed, girl.
Okay.
You just got some good dick. That's all. You just got dick down. That's the only change. That's the only change.
I will say the only change I think you could argue and be successful is she's become pampered. She's gotten used to living in a nice empire and not one that's ran in secrecy. Not that she's actually had this growth of personal development. Because she hasn't.
Yeah, personality-wise. But I don't hate her. I don't like her, though. She's, like, okay.
I mean, I just wish, kind of like how, for instance, I hate to keep bringing up another book, but Violet in Fourth Wing, we saw her struggle and we saw her overcome it. This character has had none of that. Because either she fixes the problem or Kaden does it for her.
Yeah, which is kind of silly, in my opinion. Like, I wish she got kidnapped. I did. I wish the assassins would kidnap her and Kaden would, like, lose his shit. That might be in the second novel. Who knows? Right? It like, built it up.
Also,
but,
don't hate me. Don't hate me, booktok. I will say this right now. Because Kaden and their love story, in my opinion, was not properly built as it should have been. Like, there wasn't, like, small moments. It went straight to, basically, let's fuck the second they saw each other. All his lines are cringy.
Oh, wait. I have something. Wait, where'd it go? I literally tabbed it because I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, he like, literally, page 88, right? 88, like, first third of the book, he's like, I can take off my clothes if it's too confusing for you. Because she's like, you don't look like you. And he's like, I can take it off. And then I was like, ooh. I literally, you don't even know her. You can't say that, dude. And then, okay, I think they are going to do, like, the blood ritual or something, right?
Yeah.
And she says here, you shoved me into a stone of wall. I'm uncomfortable. I don't care, he hisses, grabbing my hips to still them. But that's when I feel it. His hard length digging into me. How the fuck are you gonna be hard on a mission, dude? Like, what?
Okay, Fuka, to be fair, the most of the times they talked about him being hard was when they were in places they shouldn't have been, and it was the act of being caught, I think, that made him hard. That is their, foreplay.
What the fuck, dude? I was like, homie, I was here for the mission. I'm not here for your hard legs. Stop.
Because remember the brothel scene where there's a chance the assassin may kill her? They basically almost have sex there because they get too horny.
They're like, ooh. Yeah, the brothel scene? Okay, it was supposed to be hyped up, right? They're like, oh yeah, there's this brothel where you can go and be yourself or be a different version of yourself. Fuck whoever you want. And I'm like, okay, cool. Are they gonna play into it? No, they fuck each other. And I'm like, ugh, come on. What the fuck, bro? What?
Do I regret reading it? Like I said before, no. Am I going to read the second? I'm a powerhouse through it. But the question is me and Fuku going to take a break before the second one and do a Zodiac book instead?
Yeah, I'm on the third one. Okay, honestly, I enjoy Zodiac Academy way better. And this is why I'm giving Fear the Flames a chance. Because I didn't like the first novel of Zodiac Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Did not like it, and it had the same problems as Fear the Flames. So I am willing to give Fear the Flames a second chance because Zodiac Academy had very similar issues in the sense where the pacing was off and the world building wasn't there. So a lot of the things that happen doesn't make any sense until the second book. So I'm hoping that the same thing happens. Yeah, but they literally just like fuck. Like as soon
Okay,
as,
okay.
wait, I tapped this page. Oh my god. there was a page where like Finian and what was that other guy's name? Finian, Saf,
Ryder.
and Ryder. They made a bet to see if they fucked, right? And they're like, we bet that you guys fucked, right? Pay up, right? And they're like, yeah, we fucked. And then I was like,
but that was after the dragon capture.
Yeah, I love you, but I would not be like, I'm gonna bet if like how many times you and Scrub fuck, right? As your friend, I'm like, I'm happy for you too, but I wouldn't bet that shit, right? And then you start talking about like, yeah, they were eye fucking each other, and I'm like, I would never have a conversation like this.
Okay, I will be honest with you. That's not a girl thing. That is definitely a guy thing, though. Guys definitely do shit like that.
What the fuck? But even okay, so what I had an issue with, right, is Finian, right? Finian is Elowen's brother, right? Like brother from another mother. And as somebody who has siblings, if my brothers were betting if I were fucking other guys, I would lose my shit. What the fuck do you mean my brother is making bets on whether or not I fuck someone? No!
Okay,
No!
Did you pick up that Finian's actually gay?
Yes.
Okay.
First thing I said, Finian isn't in love with her? Explain this quote. You were the first face I think of. Is he like fruity? They kept emphasizing he's like a brother. This is a missed opportunity. That's what I wrote in my notes.
No, he's definitely gay. Remember how he talked about you didn't warn me how hot the guys were to her?
Yes, but I thought he was like bisexual or something.
I think he's straight flaming, which would explain a lot of their interactions.
That makes sense. I didn't want to assume. I said, is he fruity? I just kept it like that.
Okay, and you can also be bi and be bi-leaning, where he might like women, but it's majority men he goes for.
Yes. But
yeah.
It doesn't matter if he's like a brother, right?
Yeah.
Why is he betting whether or not she's like fucked Kaden? Like that? I don't get it.
I think it was more like a jest where like, have you ever seen two best friends so in love that they don't even know they're in love themselves and everybody's just watching it?
I have not seen that.
I have.
So
and it's really cute. It actually happened in my D&D group. You could tell when people are really in love with each other, and it's like a bet.
Okay.
It's like a bet to see when it's going to happen. Like
so
how much longer?
Question, did you make that bet? Like, I bet you he's gonna suck dick today, right? Like on this date, or how did you make those bets? Like, I don't think you're making those bets. I'm thinking, oh,
no?
like they're gonna get together.
No, but me and my husband definitely had private conversations like, oh, they're totally going to date. I swear. If they're not dating by next year,
they're fucking. If they're not dating, they're fucking.
But I also have more of a male personality than most girls because I was raised by two older brothers. So I've seen shit like this. It does not completely surprise me. Like, to the point to where my brothers were such hoes, they would buy their friends hookers. Like, I don't think you understand.
What? Wait. Hold the fuck up. Oh my god. What do you mean? What do you mean people buy each other hookers? What?
So we'll call this friend M, and we'll call my older brother, I don't know, shit. Bang. Fuck it. Bang and them. M was very lonely. He had a bad breakup. So they paid and bought him a hooker to sleep with to, help get over it.
Did it help?
I mean, he got laid, so he felt better.
You heard it here, folks. First here on Mizzle Justice's channel. To get over a broken heart, the Dr. Mezzi, prescribes a hooker. Okay? The prescription, a hooker. Get laid.
I will agree. It does not agree in the long term, but it will help you in, just for a little bit. It gets them out of the slump, but you do have to be supportive after that. I will admit that. You can't just be like, this will fix you forever. It's kind of like a Band-Aid.
Gets them out of a slump. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I have brothers, but I don't think my brothers are buying each other hookers, okay?
Well, not each other. They bought their friend.
I'm gonna ask my brothers, like, have you ever paid for a hooker?
Okay, what do you think the main joke at bachelor parties is? They buy the hooker for the bachelor, and that's why a lot of brides-to-be ban bachelor parties. Because that's a legit thing. It's not even like, hey, it's a joke. No, some dudes are dumb enough to do that shit.
I think I don't have that many friends to the point where I understand, like, bachelor parties and bachelorette parties. Like, what the fuck? Anywho, if you're here for, like, honestly, this level of smut is, like, my level of smut. I was like, the fact that I could tolerate all of those, like, sex scenes, I was like, yeah, this isn't spicy at all. Like,
oh no, honey. I read darker.
It's like, yeah, it's like, they tried. I think it's like a 2 out of 5 spiciness for me, because they tried.
I'm gonna give it a 1.5 only because they didn't completely fade to black. They did some foreplay, but I read a lot worse at work to where I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom for a bit and put this book down because I can't deal with this book at work. This was nothing. It was like very beginner smut level.
Yeah, beginning smut. It wasn't, I don't know. I was like, okay, cool. I liked how he likes to pleasure, like, Elle. He's like, I like to serve my women, right? So,
yeah.
Okay, something I couldn't, maybe it's because I like my tropes, right? Like, I think they're switches or something like that. Like, he loves to eat cat. I don't know if I can say that word. He loves to eat cat. And he's like, yeah, I love to eat cat.
So, I learned this hand gesture from a friend. You know how you put a V in front of your mouth and you lick it? Yeah, he loves that.
Yeah,
he loves that.
He loves that. He loves licking.
Yes,
that.
yes, real men do.
Real men do. I guess he's a real man. He's a real man. Like, it just kept going and going, and I was like, are they gonna do any more? I was actually like, I kind of want them to do more, right? Like,
I did
You're
too.
at a brothel.
And that's what makes me so sad that the actual sex scene was so little, because he spent so much time telling her, like, whenever we finally have sex, I want to be the only one hearing you scream my name. I want to make you scream, like, he just kept hyping it up for it to fade to black.
Yeah, we just get like 2 pages of them smashing. And I was like, really? But, okay, this is what, okay. Literally, they come back from a mission. She just released her dragons, right? She's like, I've released my dragons. I'm bruised up. Homegirl is bruised up and beaten, right? Like, I'm like, how, if I was beaten to that point, or if I was like tired, how did you muster up the energy to fuck, right? I would not. I was like, man, you're gonna really like break her. Okay, I was concerned for her health.
I wasn't, because they have made a point to always say how gentle he is with her.
But you can't be like, I'm gonna be fucking you all night, right? I gotta make this right. If he's like that, I don't know. I had conflicting feelings.
Maybe he was gentle, Fuka. They did have a whole chapter explaining how he was bigger than any lover she had.
I want him to be a dragon. I want him to be a dragon. I want him to be a dragon. I'm manifesting this. That's why he's so big, dark, and brooding. I want him to be a water dragon. Please make him a dragon.
Stars, yes, Fuka has reached her bestiality era.
I do! That would make this book so much more interesting because she has this bond with dragons, right? Like, come on. maybe she like did these chapters out of order, and she had to like how I felt about it. Like I said, she like wrote each of these chapters individually, and then had to piece them together. So maybe she like had to piece like her ending together ahead of time because some of it didn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree with you. It definitely does feel like a Wattpad novel. Like, I can't deny that. And it does not help that we now know it was self-published at first. And to be self-published on Amazon is not that hard. It is hard to be picked up by a publishing company. And they can make you make edits to get your book published. So, I'm hoping that what we lost was not detrimental to the book with what we read. And also,
from Reddit, Reddit said it wasn't. It was just like it made the book just longer. It was like, you know how she like describes like her ball gown or something, like it was this color. It was like a bunch of that. So I think they like cut out the fluff and then just left like the majority of like the meat of the story.
I will say one of the things I agree with for the changes. Apparently, Caden's house was also supposed to be very more humble or small. But he is the commander, aka like the head of the military. He would not have a humble home. The money and everything makes sense. The review I read was very upset that they did that change, but it makes sense if he's that powerful. Which is explained when he says he has enough authority he could challenge the king and queen to war over their thrones if he marries a royal. That's how much power he has with his military. And people are like downplaying that.
Because he's a dragon.
He's a dragon.
Because he's a dragon. He's a dragon. Dude, I think he's a dragon. He's hoarding all of his money. Like, homie has a bunch of money, right? And he's trying to marry a royal with a bond to dragons. He's a dragon.
Oh my god, my favorite thing was when she was like, I don't want to spend your money. And he's like, sweetie, you're going to have to spend a lot more to even make me sweat. And then bought her 1,000 things more just to fuck with her.
Oh my god. He's like... He's too perfect, too. I don't like how, like... They made him poor at the beginning. He was like, oh, I struggle. He should have just been rich to begin with. Just been rich, and then just worked his way up.
Again, this goes back to... I feel like this book should have been a second book, actually. It made a lot more sense if there was more world building.
Yeah. Or like a novella or side one.
Yes.
But I'm happy that she was able to get published for real. Like,
I mean, for real.
There had to be enough people who liked this book in order for her to get published, you know?
I mean, true, because looking at my dates, the self-published on the Kindle was 2022. We get the ebook in Audible in 2024. We get the UK and Australian in the 2024. In 2025, we get a paper book version of it. So everything after 2022 is the version we read. So the book was indie for about 2 years. And also, I will say, is it just me or do the dragon names sound very similar to other character names, like from different books? Or is that just me reaching?
I don't think it's you reaching. I think the names of the dragons, I don't remember. I didn't even bother to write down the names. Because she keeps on repeating Soren, and then she starts with a V. The whatever. Where's her dragon? Where's her dragon? Because she had to do Beatrix? Benetrix,
Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound familiar, but I can't put my finger on it, like where she got these names.
Well,
Calathea,
here we are.
Benetrix.
So Soren, we have Soren, Balius, Benetrix, Calathea, and Delmira.
Is there Basilius?
Yeah, Basilius. Basilius.
Yeah, I don't know where these names come from.
See,
but
I was thinking of Rhaenyra, actually.
Rhaenyra? Is that a book?
Rhaenyra is the name of the Dragon Queen in in the House of Dragon series.
Oh.
I kind of thought of that when I heard it, honestly. Because again, I did the audiobook, so I was hearing the names out loud. I didn't see how to spell them. I
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So, just so y'all know the colors, Soren is an emerald green with black tipped wings and horns. Balus is pure lavender. He has no markings, by the way. There are 3 females. Benatrix, Calithia, and Delmira. Benatrix is crimson with pink and gold markings. Calithia is silver with white tipped wings that look like snowflakes. Delmira is sky blue like a perfect summer day with yellow markings. Their eyes match their dominant colors: green, lavender, red, silver, blue. Just so y'all have the at least some idea about them, because that's the first time we heard about them on like page 115.
Oh, there's like fan art. I think the fan art makes this book look so good, but the vibes don't match. I was so hyped because I saw some of the fan art and I was like, oh, it looks so good. Okay, let me show you.
Let's see this.
This is the dragon fan art. I think amazing, amazing.
It does look so pretty, but also
Okay, wait, look at this one. This one made me buy the book. Honestly, I was like, if someone took their time to draw how this looks, then it has to be a good book. Look how amazing! Look!
And I'll be honest, the thing about this whole thing is that you have to remember that this is also in the hype of Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing has been one of the biggest dragon novels in a very long time. I'm talking about like since Aragon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. I was surprised I liked Fourth Wing as much, and I wasn't into the dragons, but then after Fourth Wing, I'm like, oh, I love it. And it takes like the university trope and spins it, right? I really liked that. I thought it was gonna be like, you know, typical when I heard, oh, there's a school for like the writers and stuff, but I really liked what they did, where they made it like, oh, people will die here, and they make you really care about all of the characters.
Well, because the author set up a good thing to where there's actual consequences, like a character dies within like the first 2 chapters. And it's legit death.
Yeah.
Also, though, looking at this art, he looks so much like how they picture Xaden. It's kind of sad.
I really think this is fan fiction. This feels like it started off as fan fiction. If the book isn't like this, like slow, I feel like it can get through like 2 books a month. But yeah, this took me literally a whole month to read.
Same.
So
it did, and honestly, I just finished it today. Don't hate me. It was so horrible. With an audiobook.
It wasn't bad. It was just slow. I think like for slower books, I tend to take a slower speed because I'm like, oh, there's no rush to find out what happens next. So I felt like, oh, okay, I have a lot of time.
The problem is it also because of the way she didn't do the world building, you're not invested in the characters yet. So you really don't care if they die. I hate to say that. I did not care if the main character or if Caden died, which sounds awful. Because I know the author put a lot of love into them, and on their side, that's probably part of their soul, and they love that character to death. But as a reader who reads a lot of books, I didn't give a fuck.
That is fair. That is fair. I feel like I would feel sad if... My favorite character is probably Finian.
Yeah, he actually was a good character!
He was like the best character in the story, in my opinion. Because he had like some spice to him and he had flaws, but you loved him anyways. So I would be sad if he died, but everyone else, like when they hurt him, when they like put him at knife point, I was like, no, not him, anyone but him. But yeah, I don't really care because Elwyn and Caden can figure themselves out. Like they're not gonna die.
But honestly, kudos to Caden for staying to save Finian, knowing it would break Elwyn's heart.
Yeah.
Because he could have left and said, fuck it, I'm gonna go get my queen.
He could have, but he didn't. He was like, no, I have to save this guy.
Oh.
He's my homie.
Another thing that really makes me think of Game of Thrones when I read this series is the fucking fire priestess.
Oh, was there a fire priestess in the novel?
Yes, remember they give her the necklace. And they show the fire scene of the dragons dancing.
So that also was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you remember the fire priestess who helped do all that magic and shit and brought Jon Snow back to life?
Oh, yeah. This girl, yeah. So maybe this is like a mix of Fourth Wing and Game of Thrones. Like a mix.
I think
she liked the love interest of Fourth Wing and she liked Daenerys. And she's like, what if Violet was Daenerys? dating Zayden with an X, not
Yes.
Jon Snow. She's like, fuck Jon Snow, Zayden's way better.
And I will also give this description of the book is that I feel like Caden just needed more work as a character. Because we find out about his home life as a child and find out he's actually from the same empire that she's from, but it's given so late. I wish they had more build up to it.
Yeah.
There were subtle hints. Again, there were subtle hints. But I mean, like, there should have been more involved even when they revealed it.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they fuck in his, like, home that was destroyed?
No.
Or was that near the
I
home?
think they went to the home, I think, and they went to a random like tavern/inn instead. But it's like the hometown because there was a scene where Eowyn, she connects with one of her dragons and she burns down his old childhood home.
Yes.
I think, right? So they couldn't have fucked in the childhood home because her dragon was busy like burning it down. But he does have like a memory like, oh, like I was here and they killed my mom here. La-di-da-da, right? Like it's so sad.
I will say
okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, you can go.
Another big issue I have is that she's bonded to 5 dragons. Okay, to me, I feel like 5 is going to be the magic number in this book. There are 5 fingers on your hand, which she cuts off of her abuser. You have 5 limbs if you include your head as one. And she has 5 dragons.
Yeah, 5 is the magic number. Also, like, I don't know. I don't know why they picked 5 dragons. I think that's gonna be so hard to, like, get you to care about all the dragons because there's 5 of them. She could have picked, like, 3 dragons. Why not 3?
Too close to Game of Thrones, and I feel like some of them are going to die, and she's going to end up with 3. But she's made it very clear that Soren is her favorite.
Yeah, she keeps talking about that one. I'm like, you're having favorites? No wonder the rest of them hate her. I want the dragons to fight for her love. I think that would be the true, like, I think that would be cool. Oh my god, you know what? I just realized the, like, cover for the next book has 5 dragons. It has, I'm an idiot. It has 5 dragons. And they have swords. Oh my god! Okay, so I bought the book, right? I have the actual book for the next book, and it's like the map is colored, and it has like all of her dragons. Oh my god!
I mean, the map in the first one's colored too. That's actually why I was so hyped for it. I thought it was gonna be a good book. Okay.
I have the non-colored version. I was like,
don't at me. But back in the day when I was a child, Books A Million would do like midnight book drops, and you'd go there and have a book party, right?
Yeah.
And back in the day, being a hardback book and having a colored map was like the dream, because everything else was always in black and white because it was so hard to get a publisher to print you a colored map.
Yeah.
So my thought was, the publisher's really pushing this book, it has to be good. But, I mean, again, she's not a dreadful writer. It's not the end of the world. She is not so bad that you should, like, throw a tantrum over her. There is room for improvement, though.
Yeah, I don't think her writing is an issue. Well, there's, improvement, but I really like, again, her descriptions of, like, eating pastries, for example, and, like, food. I think she should write something slice of lifey, in my opinion. Like, if she did something where it's just, like, a coffee shop, I'm an ex-dragon warrior opening a coffee shop, I think she would do really well, because her description of coziness and, like, I don't know, gentle vibes, like, made me feel something. I was like, oh yeah, I did feel that, like, bath, right? Like, when she describes, like, a hot, steamy bath, I did feel that, right? Oh my god. Or whenever Eowyn eats something tasty, I'm like, oh, I want to eat whatever she's describing. That sounds amazing. But whenever she describes, like, I don't know, the action scenes, she's not good at action scenes. She should get help with those.
I would also just like to mention that her writing, like you said, is very good for, like, the slice of life parts. And this could be her first novel where she tried to talk about topics out of her comfort zone. And that is something some authors do. And there is no shame in that. And it could get better the more she writes. So let's not completely bash her on that. Because I know I was expecting more in the sex scene than she gave. But it could have been her first time. I remember as a role player, I started as Fade to Black. And then it got more juicy. And apparently I did men very well, and I suddenly became a male-only role player because no one wanted me to play a female.
Oh. 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 Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not a writer, so I shouldn't criticize, right? I shouldn't be this critical cuz yeah, I don't write like you. I don't roleplay. So that's great that you have that perspective that you need to write more and put yourself in that POV for it to get better. So
Yes.
hopefully it does get better because it sounds like she has a lot of like she has a vast like library, right? From her imagination, you can tell that she has a lot that she's pulling from. So hopefully she's able to like get better in the next book. So I'm hoping the battle scenes get a lot better.
Also,
Holy shit.
oh my god, this Reddit post about Fear the Flames is making me laugh. The plot, don't know her. Literally nothing happens for 300 pages and then go on a heist with 0 difficulties. Where they infiltrate the enemy kingdom pretending they are married and steal her dragon back. Amazing. In the end, they just become king and queen and she's mad about him with something. That is so true. There was like almost no plot. Honestly.
Well, okay. The plot, okay, no, there is a plot. The plot is just her trying to get back her dragons, but we keep getting sidetracked. Like, it's like, oh wait, but I have to do this. Oh wait, there's just like, we have too many side quests. Too many side quests happening.
Chat. I know I'm a tired person because, as Fuka knows, I'm a mom. I do full-time work. But at one point, I fell asleep for like an hour in my audiobook. I didn't bother rewinding it because nothing changed. It was that like slow paced at that point. They were just still talking about random shit.
Yeah, that is. Yes.
Oh, here's a good review that I agree with. Honestly, if we had not agreed this would have been our first book podcast novel, no matter what, I probably would have not finished it for the first novel because it was so bad.
Honestly, yeah, me too. Okay, so at first, I was like, I thought you really liked this book, right? So I had to like gaslight myself. I was like, I really need to like this book because Mezzy likes this book, right? Like I thought you liked it, so I was like, yeah, I have to get through it because Mezzy likes this book. Because I thought you already read it, so I was like, and I trudged through it. And then you told me like this week, you're like, oh yeah, I just started reading the book, and I was like, I gaslit myself for what? For what? Oh my god.
And I will also say that in Fear the Flames, a lot of people in the reviews are giving her shit for being like a good healer plus a good a gardener, for lack of a better term. But I will tell you, a lot of things, especially like poisonous plants and weeds, they don't take much to grow. They kind of grow whether you want them to or not.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't
agree.
I wouldn't really say she's a good gardener. It's just she happened to probably pick things that are easy to grow. Like wolfsbane and all that stuff. I'll be honest with you, I have personally grown basil and thyme and some other stuff as a first time gardener, and that shit grew like crazy. I had trouble killing it.
Yeah.
Basil too. Like it's not that hard to grow.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was implied that it's hard to grow things in where they were at. Is it Astilion? Is that where they're at? Astilion? Because of the, I don't know, lack of fertile land. But I'm not surprised that she's a good herbalist slash, like, gardener. Because, yeah, dude, if you're gonna be a good healer, right, you need to know your stuff. Like, it sounds like she's more of a apothecary type person. But, yeah... I do agree with the concept of they made her like too perfect because like not only can she heal, she can fight very well, and she has no scars. Okay, I'm still upset about like her not having any scars because how are you gonna be like I could kill people and not scar? Like I don't get it. I do not understand. But
okay, now watch the next book. They're like my scar that I don't like to talk about, and Fuku's gonna be like, motherfucker, where was this in the first book?
Yeah, where was it? Well, like I don't know. Caden would have described it already, right? Like,
would he have? We've never had his perspective.
We haven't. You're right. You're right. I'm laughing at the scar thing because that's the trope I hate in book. Okay, but you cannot claim to have killed multiple people and not have a scratch. I'm sorry.
Or be a master assassin. Like, what the fuck?
You can't have not like how I can't. And then the way she killed her like abuser, right? Like, oh my god, I couldn't stomach it. I was like, why are you being so mean to him?
To be fair, Fuka, I would have been worse.
I just can't because like one this was supposed to be like enemies to lovers, and like Elowen and Kaden were supposed to be kind of like opposites, right? They're like it's implied that they were supposed to be opposites, but they're like the same person, right? She is just as batshit crazy and vengeful, and I respect that, but at the same time she can't go like it's just so weird how she's like, I love flowers. I love flowers and frou-frou things, but I also love torturing people. And I'm like, I can't! Pick a lane, lady! Pick a lane!
I will be honest with you. Okay, this is gonna sound bad. But the scene where she's like cutting off his fingers like one for each dragon, I think I would have either pulled his teeth or his fingernails, one for each dragon. That way he wouldn't actually bleed out.
She also like castrated him. Right? And
again,
I was just
there's a vital artery there. I wouldn't do that. That would cause bleed outs. I'm not going for a quick death. I'm going for a slow death. I don't think you understand. I'm meaner.
I get the slow death part, but yeah, pulling teeth, I could stomach. Like, just cutting the fingers, I'm like, ugh. And then she castrates him, and I'm like, he's gonna die, right? People die instantly with castration, but I guess he didn't. Dude, homie is actually, like, super strong.
No. Fuka, they don't die immediately from castration. You do know there are people who are, there's a term for it. People who, like, go through castrations to be a monk. People
like eunuchs, but they have a specific way to do it, and you have to have a very, very sharp knife. I think it has to be very hot and sharp. Like, there's a specific way. You have to bandage them in a specific way. So, I don't know. But yeah, it was I get it, but I was like, I wish you were a little nicer. Just a little bit.
I think the reason why she was so harsh is she did comment that he did strip her down, and he would have done some very inappropriate things that start with an R to her if her father ordered him not to. And I think that's where the castration came about.
Yeah, and then it was interesting when he was just like, but my family, and then she's like, WTF. Like, I don't know. It was a weird scene, but I understand why it happened. I think,
and I'm pretty sure this is only because I'm a mom. If you had asked me this before I became a mom, I would say burn them all. But as a mom, I think I would let the children go, and that's it.
Yeah, I like the children, had nothing to do with this. I don't know about the mom though. But yeah, the children, they don't deserve anything. They just Anyways, yeah, that was a scene I needed to talk about because I was like, that one was a little. I can't. With the fingers, I was like, I was rating it, and I had to stop.
I feel bad because I watch a lot of horror movies, so I'm just like, this is normal, and Fuka's over here like, fuck no.
I can't do gore. I don't know why. I just can't. I can't do it. I'm a wuss, but I will read the things for you. So a good example is the brothel scene where they fuck, right? So there's one where it says, "You and your communication," he mutters, and sets me on my shaky legs. There are holding cells under every building along the main road. Ryder will have taken them for questioning. We'll head down there after getting dressed. Mm-hmm. And then it skips to that. It just says, "My gown flutters from the icy chill from rising from the dark cellar beneath the brothel." Oh wait, that's not a good example. But they kind of just skip to like the next part, and I'm like, did you just walk there?
No. That is still a good example because I mean, there's more dramatic ones in this book. Don't get me wrong. There was the one with the healing, which I'm not sure which chapter that was. But the thing is, I hate to tell you, when I'm getting dressed and my husband's getting dressed, Sometimes we're having a full ass conversation about something important and happening while we're getting dressed.
Yeah, but it's implied that they get dressed and like just go outside of the brothel, and I was like confused. I was like, oh, so we just, or like they went under somewhere, or I don't know how they ended up down there without anyone questioning them. You know, it's just like,
Yeah.
wait, how did you guys just teleport there?
And I will say they did not fuck there. They just had a very intense foreplay. Which pisses me off, the sex scene was so small.
Oh, you know what? The scene where she gets, like, they tried to assassinate her the first time. That one tripped me up.
The one with the bathtub?
Yeah, because I don't remember how that happened. Okay, so they are talking. Let's see, what did he say? Okay, so they go to the tavern for the first time, and she gets flirted on, and he's like mad. And then the end quote is, "Our hands are covered in thorns, and every touch, no matter how innocent, draws more blood." That is literally the context of that page, and it skips to, "Do you still want to talk tonight, or do you want to sleep off the whiskey and cider?"
Yeah, there's some bad jumps in the book. They definitely left some stuff out.
So it just jumps. You need a break? Sorry. What? Sorry.
No, I was just going to mention that I saw one review that mentioned this scene particularly, where they talked about how he killed the guy who spilled beer on her. But the reason he killed the guy in the author's defense was because Caden is accusing him is accusing him of setting the trap for her by putting her dress wet so the assassin would know she's in the bathtub.
Oh, you know, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because he realized he had unloyal people in his army, and after torturing him, no one else was scared, ballsy enough to do it, because they're like, man, he got tortured. Fuck that shit. It ain't worth all that. And Caden is definitely the kind of guy to torture a whole family if he has to. Which he keeps telling her he's not a good person. But I want to see how much not of a good person he is at this point, because nothing he's done to me, or nothing he's done in the book, has screamed villain.
Maybe he will be a villain.
Maybe he will be. Maybe he turns against her in her mind, and it's like he's doing anti-hero stuff, which would explain the enemies to lovers trope that they're trying to push.
I hope so. I really hope so.
How did you feel about the uncle at the end?
It wasn't... I was not surprised. I was like, okay, what's new? What's different? Okay? And she was like, okay, I feel so bad for saying this, but Ellen was like into it. She's like, my uncle betrayed me. But I'm like, from the beginning of the book, he was your biggest op, and you were complaining about him. What's different? What changed? Nothing.
Okay, and let's be honest here. They made it very clear that the uncle was doing it to get the throne back. And also her dad is definitely going to try to kill her if she goes home.
Yeah, 100%. But he's like, nope, I don't care. You release your dragons. I want to see what releasing the dragons does and what mishaps are supposed to happen. Because I want something bad to happen. I really do want something bad to happen. And I want her to question whether or not releasing her dragons was a good decision. I think that would be very interesting if something bad happens, or like the dragons go crazy and burn down like a village on accident.
Which, again, happens to Daenerys in Game of Thrones. That's why they get locked in the pyramids. They eat a child.
So, are her dragons gonna eat a child?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you're asking for them to do something bad. That did happen to Daenerys, and I'm curious how she's going to have something bad happen. Or is she just going to lose at least 1 or 2 dragons to madness and have to, like, kill them?
Maybe. Ooh, that would be... Well, the second title, or second book title, is called Wrath of the Dragons, so I'm hoping...
Well, I also wonder if that title, it just means that that's going to focus on the war with her father, and they're going to actually try to kill him in that book. Because I was surprised they didn't kill him when they infiltrated the castle, not gonna lie.
Well, they couldn't. They had to release the dragons first.
I mean, after releasing them, though, what's going to stop the dragon from burning down the castle?
True that. I don't know. That would have been too easy. They would have been like, no, let's not do that.
This is why I can't be a protag in the book. I would definitely just burn it down then and there.
You would be too logical.
The book would be
like,
over.
This is taking too long. The book would be over first page. No story here.
Because let me tell you right now, you know how we won the Revolutionary War? We crossed the Delaware on Christmas Eve. We didn't wait for, oh, we're declaring war. No, fuck you. We're gonna burn you tonight.
Yep, that's how we won. That's how America won.
And the thing is, they were having a ball that day. So they were all dancing with other Empire royals. She could have took over the whole world in one night.
You can be the end here. She could have, but she didn't. That would have been too smart of her. I don't understand why they call him Demon.
Because he's like supposed to be... Okay, so it's a problem because we see him through the protagonist's point of view.
Yeah.
And she's in love with him, so you gotta remember that. Other people see him as a cold-hearted killer who just does whatever the fuck he wants. Remember how he started talking back to the king and the king was scared of him?
Yeah.
So they're calling him a demon because they say he's really pretty, but he's also like scary good at what he does. He's a former assassin. He used to work for like gangs and stuff. And he doesn't take no for an answer, and he's a supposedly a prodigy strategist.
Dang. He's also too perfect.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, one of my notes is, why don't they eat monsters? What does a Vex tree taste like?
I'm kind of sad that was the only time we came with another magical creature besides dragon. Because there seems to be...
that was... Yeah, the Vex tree. That was like the only two monsters. But I literally wrote this question. Why don't they eat the Vex tree? Would it taste like bark and octopus?
Right? You're right. This review says 70% of the book was a slice of life book.
Mm-hmm.
And the first 50% is a slog. Okay. Are y'all ready for some cringy Caden dialogue? Are y'all ready for this? I got some quotes.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need to surprise me with knives, Angel. I'll bleed for you if you ask nicely. Another one is, I crave you. You're my queen. Always have been. Even when it was treasonous, he says. They didn't want us in their world, so I made a new one.
Oh my god, he's so edgy. He's like, ooh, girl, I made a whole new thing. He does, I don't know. Actually, that's giving off like, Court of Thorns and Roses for what people were saying. Like, the fact that he calls her queen and salvation and creates this whole new world for her. It's giving that off. It's so edgy. So edgy. Oh, okay. I have a note, a random note. I wrote, I was pissed that she gives women a bad rep for using her period as an excuse. She uses it twice, and I was like, why? Why did you do that? No!
Watch it be that she's actually infertile and she has endometriosis or something.
Maybe, but to like escape, right? Because then Finian's like always up in her case. She's like, I have my menstrual cramps. I have my monthlies. I need to go lie down. I am so weak, Finian. Okay, have a nice night. And she sneaks out. Why? She did it twice.
She really did, though. Also, here are the tropes this book is supposed to have, and I will tell you how accurate that is. Enemies to lovers, so far 0 out of 5. Any comments, Luca? Forced proximity.
I agree.
It's not forced. She willingly lived with him.
That is true. They're not forced to be together.
She decided to do that alliance because he said, I can get you your dragons back. And she's like, okay, bet.
But, like, no one was forcing them to work that closely together.
No. Witty banter? Kinda, but the problem is, again, the lack of character development made it feel more cringe than it was witty.
It wasn't witty banter. It wasn't banter at all. Like, they weren't even arguing. You know, like, when I think of banter, I think of, like, arguing. It's like, they weren't even doing that. He was just like, I love you. And she was like, ew. Go away.
I'm counting the time that he protected her from the queen. When he gave a witty response to protect her.
Like, one time. A witty banter.
Yeah.
1 out of 5. Because it happened once.
Yes. Touch her and die. Again, a lot of people are really going on the whole he's a jealous person, but the only time he was jealous was when she was in very dangerous situations and he had to like keep an eye on her. I don't think he's out really jealous to random people that he knows.
No, I think he's jealous to random people.
You do?
If you just look at, like how I read him, if you just look at her or breathe wrong, he will kill you. Like, that's how I read him. He's always like glaring, and Finian also says this, like, whenever you're in the room, he's always looking at you. Whenever you're not in the room, he's looking for you. And I'm like, oh man, he sees everything. I think he's a jealous type. I really do think he's a jealous type.
That's gonna be bad.
Well, because like also, when she meets up with her soldiers, right, from Vera, where Estilian, right?
Yeah.
I forgot his name already. What was that fuckboy's name? It's not Ryder. It was that other guy. The other guy. I forgot. But she makes a point to not hug them, right? She's like, I cannot hug other men because I don't want Caden to get the wrong idea. So like, that was a red flag in my brain. I was like, she knows that he gets that jealous if people touch her. I found a funny review.
If you can give us the review without spoilers, go for it. Or like X out the spoiler part. You know, this kind of has almost like a Beauty and the Beast trope if you consider Caden the Beast.
Yeah, true.
And I say that with the fact of, I don't think she has Stockholm Syndrome. She's not Bill. But she definitely went on the idea that he could protect her. And also, here's the real question. How the fuck did he know that was her from their first meeting?
I don't know. She must have, like, very specific eyes or something. I don't know, man. Like, he's just been obsessed with her for, like, 26 years of his life.
Can you imagine being so obsessed with someone that you recognize them even though you've never really seen them?
I feel like maybe there was something about her that he remembered, like her hair or something, or her eyes. I don't know, but I get it because he's like a guy who goes to war all the time. He fights, right? Like he reminds me of, like, you know, those people that go to war and they have like a hot like bikini model in their pocket watch or something to look at when they're sad. Like maybe that was who she was for him when he was in battle.
There was a lot missing, but as a new author, I'm giving them a pass.
What would you rate this book?
That's a hard one. Because I definitely wouldn't recommend it, so we're going to lose a point for that. I'm going to say...
Oh.
Go ahead.
I gave it 3 out of 5.
I think I would go to 2 or 2.5. To show that it wasn't a mid-book, but it was definitely towards a... Probably wouldn't read again. Definitely had a lot of issues. But definitely not the worst thing I've ever read.
Yeah.
Because I give 3s for would recommend mid-tier, but since I won't recommend it, I'm going closer to 2.
You have such a strict scale. Like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with how, like, strict you're like, oh, because for 3s... For me, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't recommend a 3 out of 5. I would only recommend like 4 out of 5 and up. But yeah, no, your scale makes sense.
Because to me, 3 is still over half of 5.
Yeah.
So it's still leaning towards good. Where 2 into 2.5 is like right in the middle or below.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2.5 is a neutral and 2 is like a eh. Where 3 is like, it's okay. To me, the book was not it's okay. It needed a lot of work. But again, as a first-time author, I am very proud of her for making the accomplishments she has made to publish a book. Because again, since you can self-publish through Amazon, it is really hard to get a book publisher to pick you. So I'm very proud of
Yeah.
her. Kudos to her. She did fabulous. The book looks gorgeous. I just feel like it should have been through the editor a few more times.
Yeah. Well, she also did a really good job with marketing her book too.
Yes.
So like she definitely has like the skills. So like as soon as she gets better at like writing and like grows, I think she's gonna be maybe a mid-tier author. I don't know if she'd be like you know, Rebecca Yarros level, but I think there's like potential. I think there's potential there.
Okay, and let's be fair. We're comparing her to Rebecca Yarros and like Susan Collins, the author of Hunger Games, and both of those were established, hear me out, established authors before their hit series in the fantasy world.
Mm-hmm.
That was not their first
one.
book. Yes, please remember that. Rebecca Yarros has written a lot of love stories outside of Fourth Wing before Fourth Wing. And she continues to write those series. It's just, as a fantasy community, y'all most know her for Fourth Wing. But she has an entire ass series outside of Fourth Wing. Some of them include The Last Letter, Variation, Hollowed Ground, Muses of Melodies, The Reality of Everything. Like, again, she writes books outside of Fourth Wing. This author has not written that much, so you can't hold them to the same standard. It's not fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But overall, would I recommend them? Not really. But maybe their second book, they turned it all around. Because I'll be honest, everyone loves Aragon. I loved Aragon. But you know what book I fucking hated? Eldest. Fuck Eldest.
Is that the yellow one?
That's
Is that
the red
yellow one?
That's the red one.
Oh! Okay, we were actually talking about Aragon over the like holiday, right? And apparently, my friend's boyfriend hates the yellow one. Like he said the yellow one was the bad one.
The red one was, I mean, the yellow one was okay. It's just how he ended it. People were not the biggest fan of it. But again, as someone who does D&D, power word kill exists, so power words and using your true name being a thing, whatever, I get it. He might have been a D&D fan, might have took the idea. I can roll with it. But I agree with Star. That was my issue with Eldest. While I do like the idea of travel time, which again, this book did not have at all, Eldest took it to the extreme, and the whole book was about him traveling, and it had no context past, oh, this is sand. It was dreadful.
I never got to any of the books. I read Aragon and I stopped.
Aragon was fabulous. But see, Aragon also started, and again, this author was 19 when he first wrote Aragon. It had some background before suddenly he's a dragon rider, which is where I feel like this book was lacking. It lacked the build-up. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us to rant about books, though. I know we kind of went off topic a bit for other books, but at least now you know me and Fuka are very dedicated readers.
Yeah, we read this book for you guys.
It's not the best, but we tried.
Yeah. But yeah, I was worried. I was like, but I'm also not that lewd. I read lewd books, but it's not that deep.
I'm very lewd. That's why I rated the spiciness very low.
I thought it was like okay. I was like, this is mid-tier spiciness.
Fuka, I read some that made you feel like you're in the sex scene.
No, thank you. That's a little, that's too much for me. That's too much. I can't.
Fuka, you don't want to feel like you're in the sex scene while you're in the middle of the work? Come on.
No, I don't want to feel horny while driving. I don't know how people could drive with like boners and stuff. You know, I'm like, I'm okay.
I mean, it's like every guy ever who's given a presentation and got a boner. You just tuck it into your pants.
You just tuck it in? And then just... What?
For the guys who get that, I'm sorry for outing you. Thank you for joining us for Book Talk. We will be planning our next book soon, and we will try to announce on Twitter if y'all want to read with us for commentary about which book it is next, so it's not much of a surprise. This one was only a surprise because it was our first launch of Lorebiters, and this is Fuka. Please follow her, give her a like on YouTube, support her, She works hard every day, I promise you. I know, because I have seen her work. She is amazing. We love her. And we will probably be taking visitors soon as well onto Lore Biters, so we can talk about more books. We will let you know which books, so if you want to apply to join or ask to join, you can. I'm not sure how we'll do it yet, but love you guys. Have a good night. Sleep tight.
Good night, everyone.
And make sure you take a nice bite out of your next book. Bye.
Hump.